Welcome to our video lecture. Now we are continuing Burp Suite tools. We will discuss how to identify and evaluate varied server responses using Burp Suite Comparer. When performing a web application assessment, it is often important to be able to easily identify variations in HTTP requests or responses. The comparer feature simplifies this process by providing a graphical overview of variation. Burp Suite Comparer works by analyzing any two sources of content for differences. These differences are identified as content that has been modified, deleted, or added. Quickly isolating variations in content can be effective in determining the distinct effects that particular actions have upon the behavior of a web application. Now, we know that comparer tools is used for comparing two responses. But the question arises at why we use this tool. Here I am discussing 4 uses. Let's assume that when looking for username enumeration conditions, you can compare responses to failed logins using valid and invalid usernames, looking for subtle differences in responses. When an intruder attack has resulted in some very large responses with different lengths than the base response, you can compare this to quickly see where the differences lie. When comparing the sitemaps or proxy history entries generated by different types of users, you can compare pairs of similar requests to see where the differences lie and that give rise to different application behavior. When testing for blind SQL injection bugs using Boolean condition injection and other similar tests, you can compare two responses to see whether injecting different conditions has resulted in a relevant difference in responses. To use Burp Suite to perform web application analysis against a target, you will need to have a remote system that is running on one or more web applications. This lab provided an instance of Metasploit Table 2 is used to perform this task. Metasploit Table 2 has several pre-installed vulnerable web applications running on the TCP port 80. Okay, let's open up DVWA web application brute force vulnerabilities. Let's open up Burp Suite turn on intercept. Type random password for capturing post fields in a proxy. Hit enter. Here you can see that post fields are captured. In previous Burp Suite intruder to brute force the login for DVWA. Let's send the intruder to position. One payload in particular generated a longer response than all the others. In payload option, I am typing password and pass at 123. Hit start attack button. Here you can see that 3 payloads brute force response. Evaluate the variations in response. Right click on the event and then click on send to comparer. The same thing should be done for one of the control examples. After sending each event to comparer, we can evaluate them by selecting the comparer tab at the top of the screen. Ensure that one of the previous responses is selected for item 1 and the other is selected for item 2. In the bottom right corner of the screen, this is an option to choose compare words or compare bytes. In this particular case, select the words option. By doing this, you can see that some of the content modified in the response reveals that the login was successful. Any content that has been modified, deleted, or added is highlighted from one response to the next and make it very easy to visually compare the two responses. Okay, that's all about Burp Suite Comparer tool. Thanks for watching and see you in next class. Bye bye.